What's up, everybody? I'm Trap, and I love talking about movies. Today, we're talking about Weapons, a movie about family and the lengths we go for them, mystery, and just a sprinkle of what the fuck. So Weapons was released in 2025 and it was written and directed by Zach Cregger. You may know him as the director and writer of the hit Barbarian, but I know him as one of the whitest kids I know. So the movie takes place in Maybrook, Pennsylvania, where 17 kids, all from the same elementary school class, all run out of their homes at the same time in the middle of the night and disappear. Only one student, Alex, shows up for class the next day. As the town gets fearful, suspicious, and angry, the teacher Justine becomes the target. The movie follows multiple perspectives, a grieving father, a cop, the principal, and many more, all giving small pieces to this big puzzle. But let's get right into it. The good stuff. Everything? But seriously, Zach Cregger did an astounding job with the writing and direction. The story is presented in a multi-layered fashion, showing a chunk of the story from one person's perspective, and then jumping to another character, showing how it leads up to what we just saw, and then giving us a little bit more after that. It didn't get old to me either. I was glued to the screen wondering how what we just saw came to be, and then getting that little bit of extra story unfolding. I guess I'm a sucker for seeing things in multiple perspectives. The acting across the board was fantastic. I haven't felt bad for a character and then hated them so fast in a movie before, just to end up liking them again by the end of the film. This movie's a roller coaster, man. The casting was spot on too. I mean, all the actors nail the characters they're given. And I don't know why, but I always get so happy inside when I see Benedict Wong. He just seems awesome, I guess. The atmosphere and overall tone of the movie is really dark and tense, which it should be. Like, we're dealing with missing children here. We should be feeling what they're feeling. And that comes across really well. There were a few moments that had me laughing because of the realistic responses that we get from these characters in certain situations, but to be honest, I haven't felt so much in a movie since I watched Get Out the first time. The entire first half of the movie, I kept either yelling at the screen or burying my face in my hands at the decisions these people were making, good or bad. We've got a movie that just looks great. The cinematography was awesome, and we get really clever touches of subjective perspectives with the camera work and key moments that played really well. And now, the bad stuff. This is difficult for me. I only just watched this movie once, so it's possible I'm in some kind of a honeymoon, everything is peachy trance, but I did thoroughly enjoy this movie in its entirety. But to be fair, there were some character segments that I enjoyed less than others. I understand the reasoning for them to push the narrative, but some of them seemed like they could have been shorter, or maybe just written a little closer to home with the main characters. I could see people that aren't into these types of movies as much as I am feeling like the ending was a bit sluggish or slow. I didn't think so, but I guess it's a possibility on rewatches for me now that I know how everything unfolds. I did feel there was a scene pretty early on that foreshadowed something a bit too heavily. It planted something in my head which ended up coming into fruition in the resolution, and it was just a small bummer. I'm not disappointed with how everything came to be, but I was feeling like maybe they could have changed that scene up a bit. But then again, looking back, I could see why it's necessary to push the narrative. It felt like a bit too much too soon for me. It might have just, gone right over the heads of other people though, so I don't know. There was some imagery in this movie that I really liked and kind of wanted more of. I don't want to go into too much detail on anything, but there's a few kind of dreamlike sequences with some really scary images that we get. And I can see a possibility of the marketing for this movie maybe making more people think that's what they were going to get more of out of this movie and less of a mystery. Again, nothing negative about the movie, just something I would have enjoyed more of. I can even go on further to say that there's a character in this movie that I would have liked to have seen more of as well. Maybe we weren't supposed to. Maybe that would have spoiled or ruined the ending of the film in some way. I don't know. I'm sure they left it out for a reason. On the dream sequence note, there was one piece of imagery in this movie that has me a bit confused. I'll just say it's something big floating in the sky, but if it's as simple and straightforward as I took it while watching the movie, then that's great. But it kind of has me thinking maybe there's some hidden messaging behind this movie if you were to really deeply analyze this film. If you guys know what I'm talking about and you have your own thoughts about it, drop them down in the comments below. Try not to spoil anything. So overall, I had an awesome time with this film. It's powerful, unsettling, it's gorgeous to look at, it's got scary moments, gory moments, all while unfolding a mystery before us. So I'm giving Weapons a 4.25 out of 5. I'm really excited to see what's next from Zach Cregger. I highly recommend checking this movie out. I will also say this is a movie you don't want spoiled before watching it. Try to go into this movie as blind as possible. If you can pull that off, I'm sure you're going to have a great time with it. But hey, that's just me. What did you guys think about Weapons? Did the horror mystery mix kind of hit your sweet spot? Did the multi-layered narrative approach kind of pull you out of it? I'd love to hear your take down in the comments. If you're new here, welcome. If you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe, as it will really help out a brand new channel. I'd really appreciate it. And remember, if your kid runs out of the house like Naruto in the middle of the night, time to chip him like a dog. See you guys next time.